Welcome, everyone. 3 o'clock, and in respect of your being here on time, we're going to start. Welcome to the Venice Musicale. This is Spring Sensations. We struggle to make names up for these different concerts, over the years, right? But the thought was that, we've worked on music all winter long, and now it's time to bring it out. Just like flowers are blooming, now this music that we've worked on for many months is now ready to be showcased. We have a great program for you today. This is the second of the classical music programs of our concert season. It's the first time we've had a second classical concert. The first one, the normal one we've had in the past, is still in November. And so we're trying it out. We're going to see if there's an appetite for it. And if not, then we might not do it again next year. So you'll have a memory of being the only people at the second classical music concert. All right, enough of that drivel. I'm just buying a little bit of time for one of our performers to show up. So anyhow, okay, don't worry, we can fill, not a problem. We're professionals. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to introduce a couple or few songs, and then I'm going to talk about the performer, and then we're going to move on from there. So the first piece on our program today is a dance that was written by Antonin Dvorak for four hands, one piano. There really isn't a lot of music that was written specifically for that, although lots of music has been edited and revised for that. But he wrote specifically 16 Slavonic dances for four hands, one piano, which then were so successful that they were orchestrated, and they became very, very popular. So we're going to play perhaps one of the most famous of them today. Now, this wasn't an original idea. Brahms had introduced his Hungarian dances prior, and the publishers loved it. And so they decided to prevail upon Dvorak to write Slavonic dances. The difference is that Brahms' pieces were really actual folk dances that he then put to music, where with Dvorak, he had ideas about particular folk idiom, but he created his own music for them. So they're a little bit different than what Brahms approached. But nonetheless, quite successful, helped to make Dvorak just that much more famous. The second piece on our program today is a solo that is going to be played also by Mary, my four hands partner, and it's by Enrique Granados, a Catalan composer, or Spanish if you prefer the political thing, So Catalan. He was a composer of classical music, concert pianist. Wrote a fair bit of music, including some suites to Goya's paintings. He wrote a number of these lovely Spanish dances, one of which you'll hear today. He wrote an opera, and he's really not famous for any of that because guitarists picked up on his music. And so these days you hear classical guitar playing Granados all the time, and he's very, very famous for that. But you're going to hear one of his original piano renditions today. Now, our performer is Mary Egbertson. Mary was president of the Venice Musicale previously, and was one of the first persons I met when I moved to Florida. And she welcomed me to the Venice Musicale, and it was the start of a great relationship. Those of you who are familiar with the Venice Musicale may know her as a principal player in the Suncoast Duo Pianists, right?
Yes.
Who perform here all the time. And that's a very popular outfit that's under the Venice Musicale umbrella. But having a master's degree in education from Ford at Ithaca, she also has done a lot of choral work. She sings and plays with the encore chorus here at the Venice Musicale. She's had a distinguished teaching career for 35 years. And she's absolutely an accomplished pianist. I'm really happy to be sharing the keyboard with her today. So, Mary, let's play some. The next part of our program features three of the most popular little violin pieces in the repertoire. The first is Meditation by Thais. It was an instrumental intermezzo, or entr'acte, as they call it, performed between the scenes of Act 2 in the opera that was written by Massenet. The story goes that Thais, a beautiful and hedonistic courtesan and devotee of Venus, is persuaded by a monk to leave her life of luxury and pleasure and find salvation through God. Don't we all want that? The second piece, Salut d'amour, or Love's Greeting, is a musical work composed by Edward Elgar, originally also composed for violin and piano. Appropriately, it was written and given by him as an engagement present to his fiancée. And the third piece is Czardas by the Italian composer Vittorio Monti. It is based on a Hungarian folk dance, originally also composed for violin, but also often played on mandolin or sometimes even solo piano. Now, the origin of Czardas is interesting. It was originally a ritual dance where a soldier fought with an opponent, watched him, observed his weak points, overcame him, and then danced with joy with his comrades. And so you'll hear a lot of that going on in this piece. Our soloist today is Vladimir Petrov. He comes to us from the famous Russian school Gnesin, where he earned a master's degree in music. He has been formerly assistant principal of the Moscow Radio Symphony, concertmaster of the Colorado Ballet Company, had a private studio for 12 years in Denver, also taught at the American School in Moscow, and is a new resident of this area. So he's establishing himself as a teacher, in person or online, if you know anybody that's interested in lessons, at all levels. This marks his debut performance with the Venice Musicale. We're very happy to have you here. Okay, I think he's a keeper. We're going to move into a different direction now. The last couple of years, my friends and I have been working on music by Robert Schumann, and it has been a terrific journey. We recently did a concert, all Schumann, up in Tampa, and you're going to hear 2/3 of that today. First, we're going to present 5 of the songs that Schumann wrote in 1840, which was one of his 2 most productive years. Now, Schumann is known for his piano work, his chamber work. He's written operas, but he wrote 250 songs, Lieder, of which he wrote half of them in this year alone. So Barbara Koenig is going to present them, is going to give you the translations, and I want to tell you that it has been a great pleasure working with Barbara, not just on this program, but even previously. Terrific singer. From Grand Rapids, Snowbird, she spends time up there with the Edelweiss Choir, singing in other church and other chorales. Down here in Venice, she's a part of the Encore Chorus, but she is also a member of the board of the Venice Musicale and is the program chair for all of our season's programs, and does a wonderful job with that. If that was not enough, she also happens to be a Montessori teacher and coach, and has done that for 25 years. So she's still giving lessons online. I've seen them even after our rehearsals sometimes. And she's very, very busy with that. But she is a terrific singer of German Lieder. We've done programs in the past, you may have seen, with Strauss, with others. So this is absolutely great to work with somebody who actually knows what diction is. So, Barbara, welcome.
First song, can you hear me? I'll just take it this way. First song is called Volksliedchen, and it's a little folk song. When I go into the garden in the early morning in my green hat, I am thinking first of all, what is my sweetheart doing now? In the heavens shines no star that I would not wish for my friend. I would gladly give him my heart, could I but take it out. So I wonder what he's doing. Die Lotusblume, the lotus flower. The lotus flower is afraid of the splendor of the sun, and with her head bent low, dreaming, she waits for the night. The moon, he is her lover. He wakens her with his light, and to him she unveils gracefully. her innocent flower face. She glows and blooms and shines and gazes mutely aloft. In fragrance she weeps and trembles with love and the pain of love. Mondnacht, moonlit night. It reminds me of just a couple nights ago with the eclipse, and of course every time I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I went outside to watch it. It was as if heaven had kissed the earth silently, so that in the shimmer of the flowers, she only had to dream of him. The air blew through the fields, the ears of corn swaying gently. The woods rustled softly, the night was so starry, and my soul spread its wings wide, flew through the quiet lands, and as a result, it returned home. Träne geweint. Heaven has shed a tear. Heaven has shed a tear that thought it would be lost in the sea. The shell came and enclosed it. You shall now be my pearl. You shall not say before the waves, I will carry you through calmly. O you my pain, you my joy, you heaven's water in my breast. Grant heaven that I may guard the purest of your tears in a pure heart. Guard the purest of your tears. Vidmoon, dedication. O you, my soul, O you, my heart, O you, my delight, O you, my sorrow, O you, my world wherein I live, you, my heaven into which I soar. On you, my grave wherein deep down forever I have laid my sorrow. You are the rest, you are the peace. Heaven has destined you for me. That you love me makes me worthy of myself. Your heart has transfigured me before myself. You lovingly lift me above myself, my good spirit, my better self.
And so we move on to 1849. Schumann was experiencing some rather severe health problems at this point. He was thinking hard about institutionalizing himself. Bipolar disease and a number of other maladies which were really quite serious. And yet, he was able to produce in this 1 year a vast amount of work, reaching deep down inside of himself, as much as he possibly could, expressing himself in many different forms, operas, chamber music, and these three pieces, which have a unique story associated with them. So he had a clarinetist friend who needed concert pieces for an upcoming engagement, and this engagement was happening in just 4 days. So he wrote these three fantasy pieces so that his wife Clara, who was a very, very famous concert pianist, could perform them with this clarinetist. And the amazing thing is that he wrote them in 2 days, and they performed them 2 days after that. And I have to tell you, having studied these pieces, worked with Rick on this, these are humbling exercises, really. So Rick Aaron has been with us before here at Venice Musicale. You may remember him from some performances that he did last November. Absolutely terrific flautist. The story goes that Rick was born into a musical family, and all the instruments were taken except for flute. So he ended up having to do flute, much to our enjoyment, I should say. Now, Rick from the Milwaukee area has played all kinds of gigs, ranging from the Milwaukee Symphony to jazz clubs to chamber music to big band, and he was a teacher as well. Recently moved down to Florida, lives in Sarasota several years ago, and has established himself on the local scene here, playing a lot of chamber music. That's how we met. So this has been a terrific collaboration. He's a wonderful player. We welcome again Rick Aaron.
I'm awfully glad that I don't play violin and I don't sing.
There we go. Not only am I overall program chair, but I also am on the scholarship committee. And our president and the head of the scholarship couldn't be here. She's up north with grandchildren. There's a special thing going on up there. So, 9.5, 10 years ago, just tell you a little story, I decided to be a snowbird and came down here, and I have a good friend that I taught with. And I got there one night and she calls me and she says, tomorrow I'm taking you to a concert. And so the next day, I'm not even unpacked, she takes me to this concert, and it was a Venice Musicale concert. And I read their brochure and I just went, oh, wow, this is a great place to be. I can't believe this. Because, you know, music just, it brings so many emotions. It makes us happy, it makes us sad, but it's a gift, you know, for all of us. And I thought, wow, us old fogies get to give the gift to others, to, you know, and at the same time, we get to also show the young people the gift of music and help them to be the musicians that they are going to be. I thought this is a beautiful purpose. So that is our twofold mission, to give free concerts to the public during the season, and then to award scholarships to students to pursue music on there. And last year, we had about 15 students, and we gave out $15,750 to these students. Over the course of all the years that Venice Musicale has been here, we've given about $250,000 to students to pursue their music. But we honestly could not do it without you on there. Your donations go 100% to scholarships, straight to the students on that. And so we make it really easy to make donations. You go to venicemusicale.org on our website. The red baskets in the back are there. And then there's envelopes that if you want to think about it and send it in email, so do it that way. But every dollar will go for the children. And what's really cool is this year we have double the amount. We have 40 students that applied to audition on there. So it's really exciting. It's really exciting. And these kids, I mean, my hair just stands up on my arms when they perform. And so you are going to be hearing one of our winners from last year. So thank you very much.
Almost. Actually, I wrote up a little bit of a blurb about Jim in the program booklet, so I won't spend any time talking about it. I just wanted to say what a great pleasure it's been to get to know her. I've been a judge at a number of these scholarship competitions, and for the past couple of years, Jen has absolutely wowed us. And it has become a tradition here at Venice Musicale for the classical concerts especially to feature as a headliner one of our scholarship recipients. And this year, I'm delighted to introduce Jin Wang. The program she's going to do is varied. It's some very interesting pieces. The first movement from Beethoven's Pathétique, a name that was given by his publisher because it connoted the emotion that resides inside of the piece, great pathos. But an interesting sidebar, Beethoven lifted this substantially from Mozart. Mozart wrote a Fantasia many years before. Beethoven loved it, and he used a lot of it in this piece. But it's Beethoven after all, right? The second piece, the English translation, roughly, Girl with the Flaxen Hair. This was something that Debussy wrote, beautiful little piece. It's not so much in the style of Debussy, the Impressionist. It's really more straightforward. It's a lovely little piece, lovely little concert piece. And the third one, Christopher Norton, is that his name, Christopher Norton? I had never heard of it, had to look him up on Google. And And I don't really know much about him, but one thing, this is somebody that Jin really likes. And she wanted to play this piece. And what am I going to say? No? I mean, I think it's absolutely terrific. So anyway, Jin, welcome to Venice Musicale.